Or I mean, if you can learn it, great. I mean, that's ideally the best, but if you can't, you have to have somebody else who knows what they're talking about.
Yeah, I just had a question because I do film reviews on YouTube. That's Cinema Simpleton, by the way. And for someone who's wanting to get in like a profession, because I know like the web is basically the primary medium for getting like your entertainment and stuff like that. For game or movie reviews, maybe you're going to get into this in your presentation, but what tips and advice would you guys give for someone who's wanting to get into reviewing games or movies?
I think we are going to get into
Okay.
Well, yeah, well, I'll jump into that real quickly, and then I'll tell you about the CPMs and how much you make. So my advice, and this is just from me, and I think these guys will agree with me too. You know, there was a quote, and I really love this quote. I saw it on a poster somewhere. Is the shortest distance between two people is laughter. And so comedy works for me, and it works for Doug, and obviously Noah. But there's other ways to do it. You know, you can be analytical about it. Bennett the Sage is very successful at being, you know, very intelligent in breaking down games. But for me, you know, how I identify with my audience is I use comedy. So, you know, for me, comedy is the best way to go. That's what would you guys say?
Authenticity a lot. I mean, so much in terms of criticism, especially if you want to be taken seriously, is that people trust you, that they don't think you've sold out, or that they think you're being phony. That's the big thing for me, is because people. That's why I think Ebert is so successful in a lot of ways. Is not a lot of people disagree with Ebert, quite vehemently, in fact. But they trust him, and they actually like his reviews because they always know Ebert is telling the truth. They know Ebert is being Ebert. So if nothing else, you have a foundation of, you know where this guy's coming from, and at least if you disagree with him, you know that it's
like Armin White.
Yeah,
you know, he's probably always telling the truth, but he's always wrong.
But it's fun to argue. I mean, and besides that, it's also fun to be open and be able to you can argue with this guy, and it's kind of that friendly atmosphere.
Yeah. It's being honest and combining comedy and sort of informing while entertaining. And I don't claim to be funny, because I'm not funny. I just try to be entertaining.
Lies.
You should be so hard on yourself.
We don't trust you anymore.
I got what I would say is, I mean, really sort of how I, you know, got into it is, or my mindset was, you know, when you go online, what are you looking for? You know, what are you, you know, looking to find, and try to make something similar. Or if what you're looking for isn't online, make it. Okay. You know, and with web shows, they're totally right about being very truthful, and you have to go all out. You have to put all your passion into it. And yeah, it doesn't have to be funny. Right now, that, you know, that is the hot thing on the internet right now, because it is so new, and just anything, you know, anything at the beginning of, you know, at its beginning, you know, a comedy's gonna be best because it's very quick. It's very quick. You know, it's very fast. It just hits you right away. You know, something dramatic. You know, you have to take your time. You have to set the characters. You have to really, you know, make a connection. Which is not that it can't be done, but it takes more time. And people's you know, their attention spans on the internet, as most of us know, are not, you know, isn't super long. So so comedy right now works best. But that doesn't mean you can't try something else.
Yeah.
You know, and you can't experiment with it. You know, have fun, see what you can, you know, discover. But as of now, comedy seems to be the biggie.
Okay, so for you, you know, young, you know, people starting up your own shows, this is where it comes. So you have to understand what CPM means. This is the making money part. So CPM, it sort of stands for cost per 1,000 impressions. So you get 1,000 views on YouTube, this is how much money you make from it. And with the advertisers, first off, you have to have a partnership, or if you use Blip, you're already set to go. You just check, you know, I would like to put ads on my videos and earn revenue, and then they give you a share of the revenue. So basically, you know, for every 1,000 views, say for example, if the CPMs on YouTube, they're really bad, I'm not allowed to share that, but you know, other video services and things like that, you know, for example, I mean, how can I do this without giving away numbers? Okay, yeah, we give ranges. So like when it's, you know, the ad market is so volatile, and that's another thing. You have to plan ahead, because some months it'll be great and other months it'll be absolute shit. And so you need to save your money, or need to plan ahead. Some months you can do like 5 CPM. Or, you know, some of the other video services are like $2.50 CPM, stuff like that. But on good months, it could get to 10 CPM or 15.
Christmas is good.
And that's when it's really good. Now, here's how you do the math on this. So if your CPM is $2, that's really crappy, that's really low, and you get 10,000 views, how much is that? So you're gonna get, you know, $20 off that video, right? So Blip TV, you know, if you're making $5 CPM when it's crappy, $10 CPM when it's good, and $15 CPM when it's rare, take that example and set your goal for 10,000 views. If you can do 10,000 views, then you're starting to make a name for yourself. You're starting to be able to sort of do it, or at least bring in a little bit of part-time type money if you're doing videos consistently, say between 6 and 8 videos a month. So if you're doing that, $5 CPM, 10,000 views, that's $50 an episode. You just made yourself $50 an episode. $100 would be if it was $10 CPM. So that same episode that would have made you $50 makes you double that amount if you double your CPM. And that's why it's really good to have videos ready during really good, you know, ad areas. You know, $15 CPM, $150 an episode. Now we're talking, now you're making a little bit of money, and that's at 10,000 views. So you want to kind of sort of set your goal for 10,000 views for each one of your episodes. You know, and if you're putting out 8 videos a month, which is tough but doable, you know, you're looking at between, depending on the CPMs, if that same range, $5 to $15, $400 to $1,200 a month. So, you know, kind of part-time money, but it's gas money, it's extra money. What's up?
Do videos in your archives still make you money for views?
Yeah, that's what's good.
Hallelujah.
So once you get some steam, once you get a bunch of videos. Like I have 250 videos in my library. If you stay consistent, if you continue making videos, all those past episodes will still earn you revenue. But I will tell you, it drops off quite a bit because, you know, initially, at least on YouTube, what happens is you put your video up. Day 1, 2, and 3 is where you're gonna get all your hits. After day 3, it's gonna fall hardcore. You're only gonna get maybe, you know, a few views every once in a while, unless you know, people start searching for it or that specific video. And it's almost the same way on Blip. You know, when we put, and on that guy with the glasses, when we put up our videos there, when it first goes on that front page, on that main slider, that's when you're gonna get all the hits. And then when it goes to that side slider, you're still gonna get a little bit of hits. And when it drops off that, once again, your views are gonna go in the toilet unless people are specifically looking at your show. Oh, I want to watch the rest of the Angry Joe show. But yes, all your previous episodes do make you money.
But I was gonna say it's a lot like with movies. When a movie comes out, what's gonna be the big money maker? The
Box
weekend.
office.
Well, the opening weekend's gonna make it the most money. Then after that, is it gonna keep going up? It can, but it's very unlikely. But at the same time, if you have, you know, whatever, you make a movie, big box office, you know, and maybe it sells on DVD or something like that, but, you know, something like the Star Trek movies or the James Bond movies, you know, if you have a lot of those in your backlog, even if they're not making much, you have a lot of them. And so just little here, little here, little here, it can pile up. So, I mean, as someone like Brad Jones who just pumps out videos like mad, you know, I mean, and they're not all the masterpieces. I mean, of course they're good, but I mean, they're not all, you know, masterpieces and stuff. But I mean, he has like a lot of them. And that stuff, like I said, if you just, you know, be passionate and make a lot of them, because people online also do get very impatient. They do have short attention spans.
Oh, yeah.
And
Where's that next episode?
yeah, I mean, and you know, and we put
I'm
out,
so
you know,
sorry,
like,
Noah.
I put out like usually like 3 a week. You know, even
that is hard.
yeah, no, it's like, well, when's the Ask That Guy? When's the next video game confession and stuff? So you know, it's in demand. So if you can have a lot on standby, it really helps, and it does add up.
Controversy helps.
Yeah, so, you know, and that's 10,000 views. Now here's the potential, right? But you know, I'm putting hope into your eyes. That's 10,000 views, right? Well, if you do $10 CPM, 10,000 views, that's $100. Now, what happens if you do 20,000 views? What happens if you do 50,000 views or 100,000? Or what does AVGN do? He does 1,000,000 views. You take that $10 CPM and you do it by that, you're making quite a good money. But it's so hard to get to that level. You know, I've been in this like, you know, 2-3 years, and it's like you have to, if you want a lot of views, you have to just find your niche, find what's popular, see what people are talking about, and then put your input onto it. You know.
It's the odds of success are a lot like any kind of acting position, really. I mean, there's a lot of actors out there, but there's only a very few that are making a significant amount of money. I worked for years at a dinner theater, making $20 a performance, which was extremely rare to get any kind of money. So I was very fortunate to even get like a paying dinner theater job. And you know, internet reviewing is a lot like acting in a lot of ways. It takes you got to be good at what you do, and you got to be passionate about it. But really, if you're looking to go into it as a job, the odds of success, even if you are very talented, are kind of slim. So you got to be able to, you got to love what you do.
It's easier than, say, you know, moving to LA and go, you know, talking to the Hollywood people. Like, there's a particular guy, one of my friends, I don't want to name him by names, but you know, he's in talks with Adult Swim to possibly get a show, and he actually shared some numbers with me on how much, you know, he would make per episode, and then he would get a cut of the revenue. And then I thought about it, and I was like, everybody, you know, some of the bigger names on YouTube, they make 10 times, 20 times the people on Adult Swim, the writers for those shows, or even the stars for those shows. The potential is amazing, but just like Hollywood, it's very difficult to get that breakout and become a phenomenon like the Angry Video Game Nerd or Doug, you know, the nostalgia critic. But if you can, the potential's there. But you just have to have the passion for it and not expect that to come. Don't be like, when is this going to happen? When is this going to happen? No, you just have to have, you know, you should be able to do it for free, you know, for your fans. And if your fans see that, they will genuinely see that you're just doing this for fun, you're doing this for them, and success will soon follow.
Well, one other thing I want to say in terms of consistency is that just how important that is. Something I find is that a lot of people say, I look forward to every Wednesday watching your nostalgia critic, or every, you know, and that I find more and more is very important, because people like patterns. They like points out, I'm looking forward to this day, and they like, you know, it's like eating breakfast. It's just, okay, this is a habit. And when they get in a habit, they don't like to break it. So not only if you have a lot of them, but if you have a consistency when they come out, that helps a lot online too, because people can watch something. I mean, I know people watch my videos and watch all of it, but a lot of people that just put it on while they're doing something else, some other work, you know, or something like that, and they just like hearing the sound, and they just look forward to it, and you know, they sort of put that in the background while they're working and stuff like that. So again, consistency I think is also very, very important. You've had your hand up forever.
Yeah. I was wondering, besides money and all that, for the current number of episodes that you do per month, about how many hours do you put in, like, per day?
To me personally, or all of us?
Oh.
For me, the big one's the nostalgia critic. And that takes roughly, it does take about roughly a week. Well, what I try to do while I'm making the other videos, I try to take a day to watch the movie. My brother and I watch, and we shout jokes at and take notes. The next day I write it out in a script format. Day after that, I film it. Day after that, I usually try to, you know, just sort of edit it in order, just take out the parts where I'm reading the script and going, you know, and stuff like that. And then the day after that, I put in the film bits, the effects. I make it a complete breakfast. But now that's 5 days. I try to give myself 2 days off, and that's, give yourself a day off. I mean, for some of you that might not be a problem, but it is important to remember to give yourself a break. But I also have those 2 days as a bleed over day. Just in case. With the other videos, those are a lot quicker because they're improvised. You know, the bum reviews are improvised. I asked that guy. So, you know, I set up the lighting. I have my play. I put the costume on, and you know, I just sort of go. So it takes about an hour to shoot a bum episode. A little time to import into the